Hey, it's Kasim with Solutions 8, and I'm excited to welcome back my buddy, Matthew Stafford, founder and CEO of Build, Grow, Scale. Matt, thanks for being here as always, buddy.
Yeah, excited to be here. Good to see you.
And you have a new initiative that we're just going to dive right into, which is it's a newsletter specifically for e-commerce store owners called the Early Checkout. And
Yes.
first of all, this is a masterclass in CRO right out of the gate. Like, I love everything that you've done here. I love the delineation in the offers using font. Like, without looking messy, you've broken this up in like 9 different ways. 5-minute read, thousands more customers. Like, what a great value proposition that is. 29,000 Shopify owners read this to grow their Shopify stores. Like, this is just so well done. So give me the sales pitch. What's the value prop? Why would I sign up?
The part of the reason is because I actually reached out and got people like yourself to be contributors. So over the years, obviously we've been doing e-commerce at a really high level for about 10 years, and which is forever on the internet. But we focus on conversion rate optimization, but there's other parts to e-commerce like Google ads, like Facebook ads, like email, like SEO. And so instead of trying to be all things to everybody, what we did is we got together with a whole bunch of the very best people in e-commerce and asked them to be contributors. And through that, we think that it'll actually be it's meant to be about 800 words for each deep dive. So a good 10, 15 minutes. You can go through it once a week, twice a week, and basically get all your areas of e-com covered in one spot. And then also be able to reach out to the experts that are doing it at a high level.
Yeah. And I'll share just so our viewers can see, this is the first publication that I was sent, and it's robust. This doesn't feel like, generic copy. This feels like really actionable insights, and it's kind of a choose your own adventure too. It's, what is it specifically that you're looking for? And then you can kind of dive down those rabbit holes as is necessary.
Yeah. Yep. And we even give you a kind of, hey, this is what you're gonna find out from this particular article. So you can come back and something piques your interest. It's really meant to give you nuggets.
Yeah. I love, so newsletters I'm now obsessed with. My business partner, Perry Belcher, talks about this all the time, how like you never thought that newsletters were going to make a comeback. You know what I mean? If somebody
He's the one that got me excited about them.
Is he really? That's so funny.
He actually is the one that got me excited. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think they have one of the highest valuations of any new business category, but it makes so much sense because we're so overwhelmed with content. Like, you need someone who's smart and discerning to say, here's what to pay attention to this week. Because otherwise I'll get, and I'm trying not to be hyperbolic, but I actually really feel this way. I'll get like panic attacks, feeling like I'm missing out.
Yeah.
Like, because I'm in digital marketing, which means all the things,
right.
And I'm like, I have to know everything all the time. And it's really nice. I subscribe to 4 or 5 newsletters. And I at least feel like I'm not caught unaware when someone's like, oh, did you hear about the thing? Like I feel safe.
Sure.
Protected.
Same even in e-commerce, digital marketing. Whenever you're consulting people that are in business, you feel like you have to have a broader scope. Right. And AI is it's such a broad scope that for us, we just keep narrowing it back down to like, okay, it's a great tool. It doesn't, it does replace the need for the number of people that you have, but really the way that we've viewed it and the way that we've talked to our other business owners is to use it as a tool to supercharge yourself. So basically create like super employees. So not get rid of anybody, but give everybody the ability to use a tool that makes what they do more powerful. And one way that I'd just give you a couple examples of what we've done in the last, just since we talked last, using AI's knowledge base, where now what you can do is you can essentially put all of your product information into a knowledge base and then have that live on your site as like a little chat bot. And they're getting really, really good with them. In fact, we're actually developing a product doesn't have to do with e-commerce, but using one of those bots, because you can actually make them go out and query information, come back, be very conversational. You can actually have them speak, a bunch of different things that we're playing with. But just to give you an example, one of our coaching students, they have about a $2,000 average order value. So their product is extremely technical. Well, their conversion rate on their site was around 1%, a little over 1%. We went in there, cleaned up, took all of their knowledge base from all the different models and all the different things and put it in there. And now it can answer questions, and their conversion rate went up over 2%.
Wow.
So on a $2,000 product, it's literally life-changing for what it's doing for their
2x
business.
conversion rate for any business is like,
and that's no more traffic. So essentially what it means is,
now you lost me, Matthew. How dare you?
Yeah. Everybody that, well, now they can buy more traffic than any of their competitors.
Yeah. No, well, and jokes aside, I always tell people, chances are you don't have a traffic problem.
Right.
90% of the time, people come to me like, we have a traffic problem. I'm like, no, you don't. You have a conversion problem. And when we fix that, we'll get to the traffic. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No. I have the same conversation because people come to me and they go, oh yeah, our ads aren't working. I'm like, well, what's your conversion rate? And they're like, oh, it's 2%. I'm like, your ads are working. You get, for every 100 people you get to your site, 2 people are buying. I said, think about the 98 that left, that came. Go get 2 more of those. You doubled your business.
Right.
You guys are thinking like, oh, my ads, I need to send more people. No, you just need to do a better job with the people that already came, and you'll double your business way before you have to go buy more traffic.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's not the issue. So for them, essentially, if you think about it, that customer support person is never in a bad mood. They're never short. They can give complete answers, and
they probably make way less mistakes,
and they're on 24/7.
Yeah.
And so you can put guardrails on the backside of it, like never mention our competitors, never, be very conversational or be very, jovial, whatever. You give it all these guidelines, and it will literally change the way that chatbot works.
Is this proprietary to you, or are you using a tech stack that you can share?
Yeah. Well, there's several of them out there. I will tell you the easiest one to use is probably chatbase.co.
That's the one I've seen people using too.
Yeah, it's very cool. We're building a custom one for what we're doing just because of the what we're trying to get it to do. But Chatbase will work for 99% of every e-commerce owner out there.
Now, my experience with Chatbase, well, actually, I have no experience with Chatbase. My experience with people who have used it is it's not plug and play. You buy it, and then it's about how well you train it.
Yeah.
And so there's some logic going in on the back end. Is that one of the things that you teach at Build, Grow, Scale?
We can, and we probably will, just because for us it's fairly new. So we always do the stuff on our big partner stores first, and then if it's working, then we use that to teach. And so yeah, we're getting some really good results. So now that will then trickle down into our membership where we teach. So for sure.
You said something that I really appreciated, because nobody's willing to say this. You said AI will decrease the number of people you need.
Yeah.
And so far, I think Emperor's New Clothes mantra has been like, oh no, it's not going to replace people. It's just going to make what they do more effective, and they're going to get to focus on what they want to do. And I'm like, no, like there's definitely going to be what would you say, a decrease in the amount of human capital necessary along certain assembly lines.
100%. And so what I always say is, where you've used it, the people that are making themselves valuable in your company, if the AI reduces their value in that particular area, you're going to use them somewhere else.
Sure. Well, that's my question for you. What are the roles that you think are not AI proof, because that's a stupid way to phrase it, but safe now? Like, what if somebody's in this role, they should go learn another skill, and if somebody's in this role, you think that they're okay, or not quite as in harm's way?
Yeah, well, I mean, what we live in the world of data, like that's really what we do. And so we're constantly looking at it. I will tell you that we're keep trying to find ways to let AI analyze the data for us.
Yeah.
but no matter what, it's always going to take somebody is going to have to then translate that into how it's going to affect the site, or, hey, what is this data actually telling us? How do we make it better? Because
So the
we're always
measurement
trying to
marketing piece
improve.
is still very human.
Yes.
Do you
Yeah.
know Chris Mercer?
Nope, I don't.
Mercer owns measurementmarketing.io. I say this all the time. I think Mercer is the most important voice in digital marketing. He teaches people how to do exactly what you just said. And here's the best part. Nobody wants to listen to him because he has like the worst time, he's like, oh, I'm going to teach you measurement. And everybody's like, oh, dear God, no.
Yeah.
Like they want to learn offers, but I love that you just brought that full circle. I'm probably going to send this interview to him. I should connect you guys. There's a ton.
Yeah, I would love that.
He's got a bunch of customers for you, I'm sure. But I think you've got a bunch of customers for him too, because people have to start learning measurement. They have to. It's critical.
It's amazing. So we're dealing with a company right now. It cracks me up how far into the process they get before they actually start thinking, oh, I need to clean up my data. Oh, I need to do this. And they don't realize, like, all along the way, they've just been leaking, like, companies that are doing several $1 million a month, like, they've literally leaked millions of dollars on the way to that, because they're doing that now and they have no good data. And so when we go in there and clean up just those little things, it's crazy the difference.
You take equity deals?
I do. Yeah, we do.
Yeah, man, there's got to be so much leverage for you there, because the one or two or three things where you're like, oh gosh, I could, double the EBIT on this company just by pulling these two levers.
Yeah, that is, I will say that's been a huge change for us over the last 12 months. It was more agency work, and now we do a lot more like, hey, we'd love to come in and have some skin in the game and do something, partnership.
What are the pre-qualifications for that? Like if somebody wanted to partner with you in that way, they need to be a certain size, industry.
Yeah, it makes sense. Obviously, a really good idea that we know that we can reach out to some of our other strategic partners that know how to run ads and do things like that we don't do. But typically, I would say it's got to be at least $250,000 a month that they're doing
in gross sales. Okay.
Yeah, because what we see is when you get up to the $2-3 million a month, traffic, again, like us coming in and optimizing and doing that, it helps and it sure cleans up the process, but they don't get that 2 to 3 million a month to 6 million a month from us optimizing. They've already got it working well enough that it's good. People that are around that $200,000-$300,000 a month, they have a good idea, they have a good product, they have obviously a supply chain. And when we come in and fix the website and clean up the communication and stuff like that, those are the ones that, 5-6x in a matter of months. And that for us is, where the goal is.
So interesting. So 250 grand a month for you is the line of demarcation where an e-commerce business is effectively proven concept.
Yeah.
We know, like, you've got a real business here that obviously runs.
Yeah. And can in most cases be much, much bigger.
Right.
Once you clean up the CRO.
And don't give away the secret sauce here, or do, it's up to you. But like, if you were to give me the short list, the 3 or 5, like, man, I go in and this lever, that's the easy button for helping those businesses when they're at that level.
The checkout matters a lot. That's where all the money, changes hands. So the little changes there make the biggest difference in the business. It's funny how many people, even at that level, are still fascinated with their logos and their home pages and all the other stuff. But there's so many more steps to where the money actually transacts. And so what we do is we always start at the checkout and then go forward, because if I fix your homepage and make it convert way better, all that does is get more people to your product page.
Yeah.
If I fix your checkout, you get more money. And then if I fix your cart, you get more money. And then if I fix your product page, you get more money. And so we always start backwards and then, start at the checkout and work towards the front of the store. Even though they want it, the look and feel to be better, we just want to make more money.
What a phenomenal tip that is. Start at checkout. I feel like that could be the name of a newsletter, or maybe a training series.
Yeah. Or the early checkout.
Yeah. Or the early checkout. Yeah. I guess you already have a newsletter. I'll stop trying to reinvent the wheel. What other AI tools are you using right now that you'd point people at?
Obviously ChatGPT, we use it every day. The cool thing is if someone does a little bit of work with it, we've used it to go in and ridiculously change the SEO for a site. And what I would say, I would have said, don't worry about it. Just buy traffic, years ago. In fact, that's what I have said for years. Now that you have an AI tool, like you can use Bard too, but like these tools will give you exactly what you need to do and tell you the strategy and everything, and one person can implement it. So we did it with a golf site. We used it, and they sell used golf clubs, and so it's a constant changeover of different products.
That's a
And
nightmare
so
for paid traffic.
yeah. You don't want that one.
Yeah.
But it's great for SEO because now they rank for all kinds of terms for different things, and we really used AI to do it. Where as a manual process, if you had to rewrite, 8,000 product descriptions, and then they're always changing, it was never doable without AI. Now it's totally doable with AI.
So there's a bunch of branches, and this always happens when I talk to you, Matt, because there's all these things I want to talk about. I'm curious though, just to backpedal a little bit, do you prefer ChatGPT or Bard in certain instances? Have you noticed one is better than the other for different things?
Yeah. So just speaking from my own experience, I do like that you can hook up Google Sheets to ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Because by doing that, you can feed in your product feed, you can feed in the Google keyword tool, and then also give it some really good prompts, and then it will literally write all of your product descriptions done in SEO way. And we're very specific about how we do it, like in 3 sentences or less, don't mention XYZ, and then use the most popular keywords, and it will write very conversational product descriptions, which matters. People now, if you think about it, why was Jay Peterman such a success? Because every single product description is a story, and people remember stories. And so if you if you're not a copywriter, you'd never be able to do that, or if you couldn't afford a copywriter, you'd never be able to do that. But now this tool literally gives anybody that's willing to put a little bit of time and effort into it to differentiate themselves.
Are you going to Perry's AI Bot Summit?
Yeah. Yep. I'll be there.
I figured. Are you speaking?
No.
Dude, would you be offended if I told Perry he needs to drag you up on stage?
No, not at all. No, not at all.
I don't know. He might, it's so close to the time.
Yeah,
He might
it's
already
next
have
week.
his slate figured out, but I'm going to text him and let him know that you're so funny, dude. You would just sit there like in the audience, probably the smartest guy in the room.
I doubt it.
I don't know, man. You're being too humble. All right. I've made the note for myself. We've only got 5 minutes left. How do we make this the most productive 5 minutes of the interview? What do people have to know? They're in e-commerce. They want to use AI. What are the little hinges that swing the big doors?
Well, I mean, before we hit record, we were actually talking about mindset, and
Yeah.
believe it or not, tactics are fun and they work, but it still takes the engine that drives the entire train. And what I've noticed is when the owner or the CEO of the company does the work between their ears, the entire company does better. And so a lot of times it's, yes, we'll give you things that you can do that will make your business work better and be more profitable. But the things that you do for yourself and learn about yourself are typically going to make your business grow just as much.
I had a really unique opportunity to talk to a gentleman who works on behalf of one of the largest private equity firms in the world. And all he does is run around helping them buy businesses. That's his job. And I was in the middle of my exit, and I asked him, I'm like, what's the thing you're always looking for? Like, what's that one, key? And he goes, we don't buy businesses, we buy founders.
Yeah.
And I don't care what the business does, how it does it, how long it's been around, what its profitability is. If the founder's not, and he'll ask things like, what do you read? What do you watch? What time do you wake up? How do you spend your day? Do you exercise? Like, and I mean, these are Goldman Sachs guys. These are number cruncher, bean counter types. You wouldn't ever expect such an esoteric answer, but he was, and this is, I mean, they enjoy their, you've heard their name, like they're one of the largest PEs in the world, billions of dollars, and their mandate is by founders, go get the people that do the work between their ears.
Yeah. And I always remember on that subject, I always remember something that Vinny Fisher, and I think you know Vinny
I know
too.
Vinny. He's on the faculty of Driven.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So he just said, he said, so many people think like, oh, I'm going to build this business to exit. I'm going to build this business to exit in 5 years. He said, a little shift of go build the business that you would buy in 5 years. And if you do
Way
that,
better paradigm shift. Because if you're going to exit, you're getting off the ship.
right. So every decision that you make is to get it to that point. Well, then who wants to buy it when you've taken it to the point of wanting to let go of it? If you build the business that you want to buy in 5 years, 5 years from now, that business is way more sellable because you've made decisions that are beyond that are going to do much better. And so that's, for me, that's always been something that I've never forgotten, is build the business that you want to buy in 5 years, and it'll be a lot more sellable.
I'm going to go tweet that when we're done here and pretend that I came up with it.
Yeah. If you say it, just sell it to 2 other people, and then after that, it's yours.
Then it's mine. Yeah. Those are the rules of the internet, right? It's like copywritten, hashtag trademark. Where can people find you, work with you, hang out with you?
Buildgrowscale.com, or they can email me at matt@buildgrowscale.com.
Okay. And if this is your first time hearing from Matt, this is truly one of the smartest people in the world from an eCom perspective. He's been in eCom at a high level for a decade. Build, Grow, Scale, I think, has one of the best curriculums, period, full stop, when it comes to e-commerce development. Mostly Shopify store owners, but not all, right? Like kind of a wide variety. Have you seen that Go High Level is coming out with Shopify Killer?
I haven't, but I mean, they've been making waves, so it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, that'd be worth you and I talking about sometime too. I'm one of their top affiliates, so I got to convert you over to the dark side.
Okay. Yeah, I'd love to talk about it.
Yeah. Y'all go check out Matt. All the links are in the description of the video. Like, comment, subscribe. You know how YouTube works, and we'll talk to you later. It's Kasim with your day, the Google News, and I'm so excited today. We're talking to Matthew Stafford, owner and CEO of Build, Grow, Scale, which has been one of the, I'd say, top e-commerce education companies for quite some time, Matt. I feel like you've been in it for at least as long as I've been in the